So this is your pressure data. The red dot, or sorry, the white dot here is the center of your pressure. These dots are on your center of your feet. And they're both very toe weighted. So when you look at yourself from the target line, that's when you set the club down, you've got way more pressure out here on this part of your foot here. Okay, I think you're a little bit far from the ball, which typically gets you to do that. So we got to get you a little bit closer to the ball. Okay. As you take it back, let's just see how the pressure relates to what it does here. You go back, you get 95% of the pressure on your right foot. Then you start going left early, and actually it favors towards your heel too. You start going left early. So it's not a bad pressure trace. The more linear, the straighter we can get this, the better. The fact that you get that much pressure into your back foot, and you can see how your hips move to the right. When I did that test with the club across your thighs, I'm looking at to see how your pelvis moves. And when you did it, you actually stayed very centered, almost went a little left. So if you look at it from the front view, let's go back to address here. So your hips, when you move them, are designed to move very centered. They stay centered and just kind of rotate around. So when you load into your right leg as much as you are, so you move in early, and then you turn around that, your right hip joint, it gets what we call overloaded. You can't do anything with it. So your swing gets pretty short, because if you kept going, you couldn't support it. So you go back to the left. So you get a lot of right to left motion, which tends to lead a little bit into out and some other things. So I don't want you to stay more centered going back. One of the things I want to do, and that is I want to narrow your stance up. This system tells me you're 17 inches apart. It's not too wide, but it's a touch on the wide side, especially for somebody who's trying to stay centered. Mm-hmm. So we might go to 15 inches. Try to get your pelvis to stay in the middle. Some of the other measurements we took, I looked at your arm length relative to your height. Your arms are longer than you're taller. So what that tells me is what we've seen is players with long arms. I'm the same. My arms are longer. Your left arm needs to be above your shoulder blade at the top of your backswing. Now you've got a short backswing, so you don't quite get there. But at the top of your backswing, the bottom of your left arm needs to be on top of your right shoulder. Okay, so that's going to be up here. That's going to help keep the club out in front of you. Where does a hook come from? Well, the hook comes from the club getting behind you too much, and then you have to save it with the face, right? Your forearm, your right forearm is longer than your upper arm. That also tells me when you come down, you need to come down a little bit on a steeper plane. If you try to come underneath with those measurements, you got to flip the face over and you're going to hit a hook. So when you come down, you can see how you drop it in. So I'm going to say you're too inside out right now. So the only thing you can do is try to save it with your hands or hit it way to the right. You can see how your hands kind of flip, body stops and your hands flip over. That's because you don't want to hit it to the right. But what does that shot lead to? A hook. Okay. So we're going to get you closer to the ball, arms up higher, and you're going to feel, not swinging, you're not going to, it's not that I'm telling you to swing outside in, it's just it's going to feel a little bit more, a little steeper or less shallow. All right. And it's all going to work more in cohesion with your more centered body motion. Does all that make sense? It's a lot. But that, I think you'll feel it right away that the club, you can kind of see that club in there too much. And then it flips over. So when you see it from the front view. So that club's behind you. So now you're going to stop your body, let it swing past you, and then let it go again. All right?